Okay, we're gonna go through some core recovery postpartum exercises. So come onto the floor on your back, lying flat, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, hands by your side. So the first one, we're just gonna practice abdominal bracing. So as you lay on the floor, you'll notice space underneath your low back. And all we wanna do is get rid of that space. So you take a deep breath in, feel the belly, feel the chest, and then as you exhale, pull the belly to the spine, and then push your low back into the floor. You'll notice a slight pelvic tilt here. Hold for 5 seconds. And don't hold your breath, still breathe. And then release. And then again, inhaling, and then as you exhale, draw it back in. Belly to the spine and spine to the floor. You'll do this exercise for 1 minute, holding 5 seconds, releasing, squeezing, and holding 5 seconds. Now from here, engage the abdominal bracing once again, pushing the low back into the floor. The hands are extended by your sides, by your hips, but not resting on the floor. They're lifted up here. We're going to lift the left arm while the right arm reaches towards our toes. Again, still pushing the low back into the floor, still engaging all of this here. And then you'll slowly switch arms. Nice and slow. Again, not touching the floor with either of the arms, just kind of reaching in opposite directions. 1 minute in this position here. And then once you're done, bring both arms down by your side and release the abdominal bracing. For our third one, again, it's all about engaging the abdominals here. And when I say that, I want you to imagine zippering up your midsection here. So as you engage, we're pulling the low belly down to the spine pushing into the floor, but we're also squeezing in here. So like our waist is squeezing in together. Once you have that nice and tight abdominal bracing, hands by your side, we're going to lift one foot off of the floor, bring the knee to the chest or as close as possible, and then lower down. And over to the other side. Just alternating back and forth, really making sure that we're engaging here. If this feels like too much, stick with the first 2 exercises and you can do an extra set of those. We don't want to push or go too fast. Beautiful. After you've reached 1 minute here, take a short break, allow the low back to lift off of the floor, and then we'll head into heel slides. So again, remember, zipper up the abs like this, and then push the low back into the floor. Now flex the feet, and then with hands by your sides, just gently slide that heel along the floor, alternating right and left, taking your time here. If you notice that your low back's coming off of the floor, don't go as far. Good. And once you've reached your minute, you can take a little break. Okay, last one is just bridge, but with our abdominal bracing. So take a deep breath in. You can even stretch a little for a second, and then exhale. Push everything down towards the floor, and then dig those heels into the floor, those feet into the floor. The hands are flat by your hips, and lift the hips up. Keeping everything engaged. You may find a spot where you kind of want to let loose here and release, but really think about keeping those abdominals engaged. So if you do find that you let go, just step back up, squeezing everything in, and then lift. It doesn't have to be very high. We are just working on kind of getting everything to work together again. Again, you'll go 1 minute with this exercise. Keeping those abs zippered up. I love just thinking about everything squeezing in.